Mazzoli Show. The news. Here is an illustrated summary of the news happenings at home and abroad. The Mark Mazzoli Show.
The basis of this program is fact that all of us, regardless of our beliefs, can do nothing but profit from a free exchange of ideas. Using that yardstick, now to our story.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Brock Lawley program. My name is Brock Lawley, and this is the show we tackle the news headlines. We've got the leftist alphabet soup, Democrat Party, media, college, Hollywood lies, the chaff that they are from the golden wheat of truth. Serve it up to your ADD reality television show minds on a silver platter of rhetorical deliciousness. Little morsels of rhetorical deliciousness served up on a silver platter for your delight, your Turkish delight. Jump into the stories, ladies and gentlemen. The Trumpster, he called, this is the thing. He didn't call, it turned out, when everything washed out in the fact rain, which is often days after the mainstream media scorched earth lies all over the place. But when it washed out, it turns out that the Taiwanese, or I think it's the Taiwanese president, called him, took the call. Oh my goodness, it was everywhere. It was on Twitter. The lefties on the alphabet soup, everybody, just panties in a bunch. It's pandemonium. I heard that, and immediately it made perfect sense to me. Regardless of the fact that I'm conservative, and regardless of the fact that I actually look forward to a Trump administration on a lot of levels, at least, the fact that he took this phone call, breaking precedent. Everything with these people is breaking precedent. It's hilarious to me because nobody seems to see, even in their rhetoric, the irony and the hypocrisy. So I recall 2 elections with the president, Barack Hussein Obama, and everything that he did that broke precedent. What I mean by that is it's a new president. He's young, he's fresh, he's black, he's progressive, he's a community organizer. Every kind of novelty was celebrated, trumpeted, if you'll pardon the pun. Now all this precedent, all this old way of doing things, this calcified, crustified establishment way, we all need to bow down to the golden calf of the way it was done, or the way it's been done. And I'm not saying you always throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's not what I'm saying either. In fact, I think we all stand on the shoulder of giants. A lot of times the generations before us knew the better way of doing it. But don't you see the irony? Again, they'll say anything. The plot changes, the goalposts move. Anyway, I don't really like the precedent of America getting spanked like a redheaded stepchild over the knee of China and Russia, and in this case, China. You have an elected president in Taiwan, who, by the way, shares all the values of a lauded and respected Western civilization: human rights, free markets, open elections. Calling and having a conversation with said leader catastrophe, according to the left. Celebrating a communist thug like Fidel Castro, or Che, for that matter. The left lauds anybody who has a laundry list of leftist sayings about revolution and whatnot, and a body bag list, the size of the local morgue. So Fidel Castro, fine. Che, fine. Powwowing and helicoptering billions of dollars into the mullahs of Iran, fine. Having a conversation with Taiwan, not fine. Moreover, by the way, Trump told you this. He told you this. He told you he was going to ruffle feathers with China. They're like, oh, the horror. He told you this. He told you he wasn't going to be the whipping boy. President Obama flies over and gets disrespected all over the place in Beijing. Trump takes call from Taiwanese president. Media literally has a cow. Wall Street Journal has the piece. Mathis, ladies and gentlemen, there's a piece in the Wall Street Journal on there sending a strong message to our troops. You have a general who wants to win, who cares about victory over political correctness. you see the reincarnation of Patton in this guy, Mad Dog. The left can't stand him. I'm telling you, the greatest measuring stick or yardstick or whatever you can use in any appointee from Trump's what's turning out to be an amazing cabinet so far is if the left is having a fit, if the left is pitching a fit, if the left is talking about extreme, if the left is talking about out of the mainstream, that is an awesome pick. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. Speaking of which, Ben Carson to head up HUD. His task will be to rebuild these horrific Democrat monuments that we call inner cities. These casualties, if you will, in the political war. The Democrat Party has ravaged these American cities to such a point. Their schools are horrific. Joblessness everywhere. Infrastructure terrible. Poverty rates through the roof. Crime through the roof. Murder through the roof. They are liberal sanctuaries. They are a testament to liberal fail if people would only pay attention. I've always told people the easiest way to understand the manifestation of Democrat ideas is to look at Detroit. Detroit =, Democrat. Again, I'm going to repeat that. Detroit, the city of Detroit, once the most prosperous engine of prosperity on the face of the earth, not just in the United States of America, on the face of the earth, now a third world nation. Roaming packs of wild dogs, street after street after street of unpopulated ruin. The city would look better if it got hit by bombs. Democrat =, Detroit. Anyway, Ben Carson taking over housing, urban development. Look, if anyone can first of all do it, it's him. His life, his living, breathing existence is a refutation of everything the left has said about African Americans. The guy's a doctor. He doesn't even have to defend himself. And there's all these Neanderthals making fun of Dr. Carson. It's just hilarious. I laugh. The guy's a neurosurgeon. His life is a testament to his brilliance, to his character, to his fortitude, to his intellectual curiosity. You got these pea brains out there making fun of this guy. Like their 120 character tweet, is like is gonna like dismantle this guy's entire life. This miracle hands life that this guy has lived. He comes from nothing, a single parent poverty household in the inner city, to be the leading neurosurgeon on the planet. Give me a break. And the left attacks him. The only way you're allowed to be a real black guy is if you're a liberal. So says Nancy Pelosi in her own words. So says Al Sharpton in his own words. So says, by the way, Joe Biden. One of those clean blacks like Obama. These people are the most racist people on the planet. This is actual racism, by the way. The racism of low expectations. Anyway, I can't tell you how amazingly thrilled I am that Dr. Carson is doing this. And by the way, on a side note, can you think of anybody better to spread Judeo-Christian values, which is the secret sauce, ladies and gentlemen, the silver bullet, the way back from the brink, is to restore our. Listen, the way you restore a nation is repentance, restoration, and return to what once worked. The quickest way forward is to turn around when you know you've gone wrong. Turn around, find that place where you were certain that you were right, and start again. That's progress, ladies and gentlemen. That's swallowing your pride. Anyway, bravo, Dr. Carson. Bravo, bravo, bravo. I mean, you guys already know I'm a huge fan. He was my pony in the Kentucky Derby race that was the primary elections for the Republicans. Dems apparently expressing regret for their belligerent ways. Pelosi, Reid, and Obama did a lot of damage to the party. Dems like Schumer are saying that they didn't mean it. There's a piece like that in the Wall Street Journal. Listen, I'll tell you this. This is something as sure as the fact that the sun will rise tomorrow. The Democratic Party has no intention of changing anything. They never do. I mean, if they have to manipulate or massage If they have to deceive or, broad stroke some veneer on something, they will. But change, fundamentally change, no, they will not. That's why they need to be fought and they need to be defeated. They don't have enough humility. They don't have enough wisdom to change. You can see that in the manifestation of the election results, right? What did they do? Double down. Now, if prior to the election 100 million people were racist, after the election 200 million people are racist, according to the Democrats. If prior to the election 100 million people didn't like women, now 300 million people, their fellow Americans, are anti-woman. I mean, these people, they just live in an echo chamber, a merry-go-round of the mind. There's no self-correcting. But there's a fascinating piece. Climate change scientist says that the global warming fascists, the global warming brown shirts, the global warming totalitarian crowd has made his life a living hell. There's an amazing testimony of this. And by the way, the guy believes pretty much like Lomberg believes. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he says, look, I believe in global warming. It's just not a catastrophe and it's not our priority. If we took the same resources that we're dumping into state-run, quote-unquote, climate solutions, which is really just moving money around under the name of climate for the green billionaires and this grow government scheme, if we just took that money and actually fed people or actually did something of prosperity or did something to actually help humanity. But it's not, it has nothing to do, it never had anything to do with climate. It's just another conduit for the left to grow the state and to take power away from individuals, and I'm never going to tire of telling you that. Anyway, it's a fascinating piece. This guy's actually a climate scientist, by the way. And you notice that these half-wits and these actor advocates or whatever are filling this guy's ear. This guy's a climate scientist looking at the science. In other words, the real science that this guy reads is not enough for them. Not enough for the church of global warming. Oh, no, you must bow and sacrifice your firstborn child to the golden calf of this nonsense. They're just fanatics, ladies and gentlemen. The Catholic Church, when they used to hand out penance. Do you remember that? You pay your penance and then your sins are forgiven. It's exactly the same thing. It's the secularist religion. It's what it is. It's what it's always been. Wall Street Journal has the piece. It's an amazing piece, actually. The suburbs are growing. The cities are not. Another leftist idea that's failing. Look, people never do what the left tells them to do. People never do what the left says is the best way to do it. Why? Because liberalism is the antithesis of human nature. It's pie in the sky. It's faculty lounge. I mean, look, that goes back as far as Marx. The opiate of the masses. Why are these people not doing what we tell them to do? Do they not know that we have the degrees? Do they not know that we are the elite? Do they not know that we are the all-knowing? They should bend their will to us. If they only did our social engineering. If they only did our utopia questing. If the puppets only listened to us, the puppeteers, everything would be perfect. And if we have to crack a few eggs, by that I mean starve a couple million people or throw them into gulags, we'll do it because the ends justify the means. Listen, the left is wrong. The left is wrong. They're wrong. They start with the wrong number, so how can they end up with the right sum? They're wrong. They're wrong. Their ideas are wrong. The implementation of those ideas are wrong. They're always trying to shove a circle where a square is. And they get people killed doing it. Again, suburbs are not growing. Or suburbs are growing. Cities are not growing. Why? People want room. They want land. They want independence. The left doesn't want you to have that. They want you to go down to the city, live in some sort of box. Some sort of concrete cardboard box that you see in like the movie, in like the 1984 movie. Everything's the same. Everyone's the same. Wear your gray suit. Eat your status mush. Live in your status block. Here's your cube. Here's your rations. Here's your carbon footprint allotment. We are the state. We are the Borg. Resistance is futile. We are Democrats. Wall Street Journal has that piece as well. Support for the Electoral College, ladies and gentlemen, is growing according to a Gallup poll. The left beside themselves, of course. Of course, a lot of factors here. Trump victory is clearly one of them, but also more people are becoming informed. Listen, clarity and education, kryptonite to the left. The more people know about something, the less they'll buy leftist lies. So again, we do not live in a pure democracy. We live in a republic. And I find it terribly ironic the so-called party of the little people, or the party of the fair, or the party that's supposed to defend you from the big. So bear in mind, none of this stuff passes the smell test, by the way. And what I mean by that is this. We put the issue of gay marriage on the ballot all over the place, all over the country, and everywhere it failed, including California. Remember Prop 8? It failed. And then they hunted down the people who voted for it and boycotted their business. But they didn't care. What did they do? A judge overthrew the whole thing. So what did you have there? You had actual democracy, which is what now the left's claiming they want, right? There's, every vote should count. Voting should count. One voice, one vote. Well, we had that in the issue of gay marriage, but see, it didn't do what the Democrats wanted it to do. So then they just threw it out. Not with an electoral college or an elected college. No, one judge. So my point here is they don't care about the things they're saying. They don't have values. They just mean they lost and they want power. That's all they mean. They don't care about pure democracy. They don't want democracies. They just want leftist power. If it doesn't work for left, they'll change it tomorrow. Tomorrow, the electoral college is a better chance for them to consolidate power. Then that'll all of a sudden be the right way to do it. It's just disgusting. No value, liberal power lusting, just villains is what they are. Gallup poll, by the way. Another college teacher teaching, quote unquote, this is true, whiteness. The whiteness of this, the whiteness of that. We've regressed. Look, they're regressives. We went from the civil rights movement to a beautiful blind vision from MLK to leftist regressive color uber alles politics, where all it is the color of your skin. It's disgusting. History, of course, will expose them, but it's just vile. The race racketeering. Oh, it's just so disgusting. Your colleges are just disgusting right now. The lower learning is what it is. The college fix, thank goodness for the college fix, exposing all that. By the way, do you guys remember the California drought? Do you remember that? And every liberal I knew in California was on Facebook and every media outfit. Climate change. The drought, it's climate change. We're never coming back. It's gone. It's gone with the wind, ladies and gentlemen. Want to know why? No drought. Rain levels completely restored. It's called climate. It's just called climate. Comes and goes. There was dust bowls. There was ice ages. People, of course, they weren't able to profit or, solidify status power with the climate before. But anyway, you're not going to hear anything more about the drought. And expect no coverage and no correction stories from these media outfits either. Because truth is not a value on the left. It's just not a value. LA Times. How regulations have made it impossible to build anything in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, what we could have with Donald Trump, seriously, he could usher in an infrastructure renaissance if he cuts these regulations. Again, the Democrat Party is a party of regressive politics. We're not building anything. We're not cutting new ground. We're not moving forward because they regulate everything that moves, and it costs money. Wall Street Journal has an amazing piece. The surrendered wife, a feminist, comes to a surprising conclusion that, what do you know? A traditional way of living a life, a traditional way of having a home, brings happiness, and, by the way, saved her marriage. Fascinating piece in BBC.com. Oh, the feminazis are going to hate it. That's because it's just smothered in truth. So if you want to be a bra-burning leftist, you can. You'll be single or 8 times divorced, die with 1 million cats. Or you can be a lovely woman with a husband and a family and spit out of your mouth a poisonous pill of progressive nonsense. By the way, more exposed so-called hate crimes, which really turn out to be phony hate crimes, Trump-inspired hate crimes that never actually happened, by the way. And did you guys know that the Southern Poverty Law Center that propagates all this stuff, they have a $315 million endowment from the government to do this kind of stuff, to come up with fake hate crimes, which are repeatedly proven to be false. And again, I ask you, what does it say that these people have to fake these hate crimes? That's how few these things are. That would say to a rational person, this isn't a real problem. This isn't worthy of our attention. If the left has to fake them, and there's dozens and dozens of examples of this, it means it's not a real issue. It's not a real issue. Ladies and gentlemen, the carrier job saving, hocus pocus by Donald Trump has just got, it's just got lefties in such a pretzel, and they just don't know what to do. They really don't know what to do. Day by day they're being exposed. Not only is the media being exposed, but the Republican establishment, all these people who made such declarations and statements of certainty, they're all being exposed. They're being exposed for not knowing what they're talking about, serving their own interests. Look, the left has been talking about the working man for a long time, right? The left has been talking about jobs for a long time, but they don't do anything. They don't have any ideas. It's just bigger government, more regulations, bigger government, more regulations. We're going to tax. It's class warfare. It's race warfare. It's gender warfare. That is not working. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll leave you with this, just say Merry Christmas, for goodness sake. For goodness sake, my fellow Americans, listen, if you're out there barking at people for saying Merry Christmas, if you're out there reprimanding people for having a Christmas tree, there's something mentally wrong with you. Look, if none of your friends told you this, or you watched some YouTube atheist or whatever, and he's like, encouraging you, I just want to be the voice of reason and the friend in your life. If you see your fellow Americans having joy, warmth, kindness, holiday cheer, all that stuff, and somebody's saying Merry Christmas, and somehow you're offended, or you see some manger, or you see some Christmas tree, there's something wrong with you. You're the problem. You're the one that's wrong. Look in the mirror. Do some self-analyzing. You're the problem. It's a national holiday. I'm just tired of this stuff. Every December, the atheists and the killjoys and the bah humbugs are out there. Oh, Christmas! Don't say Christmas to me. Avert your children's eyes. Plug your ears. It's something mentally wrong with a person like this, right? Mentally wrong with them, and I'm not afraid to say it because that's real love. Look, that's real love. You got somebody running around getting bent out of shape about hearing Merry Christmas. They're mentally disturbed. And they need somebody in their life. Look, it's the mental equivalent of having your fly down. I'm telling you, your fly's down. Pull up your fly. You're acting like an idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Brock Lawley program. Be a people of fortitude, character, and abounding courage.
Democrats will regret the power grab.